Dr. Yaw Perbi is about to tell us. Another round of applause for Dr.
Welcome to Accra. Akwa to Ghana. Karibu, Africa. Asante, yes, but Asante in Ghana is a tribe. Bienvenue tout le monde. Song leadership. Sans leadership. So much to lose, too much to lose. My uncle died. My mom's youngest brother. He came over to Ghana just for vacation. He had lived in the United States for decades. And he died in the hospital that I worked in. In fact, he died on the ward I worked in. But I can swear that it wasn't his disease that killed him. It was leadership. Or rather, the lack thereof. Leadership is too important for doctors not to have it. Some of the most important things in life are not taught in school, like leadership. When some of my friends got into government, I remember exhorting them, guys, nobody taught us jack about leadership. You had better learn. Learn leadership. Contract coaches. Did they listen? Ha. Ironically, communal, national, continental, or even global leadership actually begins from the person. Leadership is deeply personal. It takes deeply transformed leaders to deeply transform society. Any other way doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Authentic leadership begins by aligning our hearts and our minds with true north, because there are principles of leadership, true north, that are no respecter of persons, red or yellow, black or white. 2 days from now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be officially launching the 20th anniversary celebration of the Heart Group. It's a holistic human development group that just 9 young Africans in Accra put together in 2003. From one country in West Africa, this has grown to 24 countries on all 6 continents. Out of Africa to the rest. Yes, something good from Africa. There's been so many stories of transformation, from a Rwandese refugee who's making executive leadership impact in Uganda, from a child soldier from Sierra Leone who is now in big-time finance, to a Chinese Canadian who we trained in those days through Skype while she was a medical student in Australia. There have been all these stories of transformation, but this is one regret of mine. I feel, especially in Ghana, that most of our gains have been eroded by not giving enough attention to political leadership. So today is the first of 2 important days, today and Friday, where I'll be drumming home this point with all my heart, all my liver, my spleen, my intestines, that leadership is too important to leave it to politicians alone. I thought I'd get a louder amen. And the 90% of African businesses, which are SMEs, create 60 to 80% of our jobs. Give us 40% of our GDP in Africa. So what we do here at MLC this week for African leaders and African leadership is wildly important. Before I bring this to an end, I want to remind you when 2 14-year-olds, their names were Yajin and Fode from Guinea, when these boys froze to death in the landing gear of an Airbus 330 that was flying from Conakry to Brussels in an attempt to stow away, they had a handwritten letter that was found on their body. It was labeled, "In case we die," to the missus, members, and officials of Europe. This is what they said. And I really encourage you to look for the entire letter. I'm not going to read the entire letter. Please look for it. It will thaw your heart and it will tear your heart. Just a portion of it. They said, "We have the honor and pleasure and great confidence in you to write this letter, Mrs., members, and officials of Europe. We appeal to your solidarity and kindness for help in Africa. We African children and youth ask you to create a great and efficient organization for Africa to allow us to progress." Listen to what they said. They said, "We want to study, and we ask you to help us in Africa to study to be like you." These boys, in hope of a better life in Europe, died, froze to death in the landing gear of an Airbus. It is time for leadership made in Africa that makes Africa work for Africans before we die. Thank you.